Good morning. This is Simon Vasantha, Assistant Professor PG and Research Department of Computer Science and Artificial Intelligence, St.Joseph College of Arts and Science, Cuddalore. I'm going to talk about the basic logic fundamental subject, and my topic is multiplexer. So the term multiplexer means many into one. So many information is combined and given in a single output. Multiplexing is the process of transmitting a large number of information over a single line. A digital multiplexer is a combinational circuit that selects one digital information, several sources, and transmit the selected information on a single input line. A multiplexer is also called a data selector. A multiplexer has several data input lines and a single output line. So this is a block diagram of the multiplexer. So 4 input is given and 2 selected lines is given. So using these select lines, the output is determined. A multiplexer is a digital switch that has multiple input sources and a single output destination. The select lines determines which input is connected to the output. So types of multiplexers is 2 to 1, which is uses 1 select lines, 4 to 1, which uses 2 select lines, 8 to 1, which uses 3 select lines, and 16 to 1, which uses 4 select lines. So this is the block diagram of the multiplexer. So this is a logical symbol. So 4 inputs D1 to D3 is given and 2 select lines S1 and S2 is given, which determines the output Y. Using these select lines, the output is determined. So this is the logical diagram of the multiplexer. So C0 means this C0 to C3 is the inputs and S0 S1 is the outputs, and this NOT gate is used for the, if S1 is 0 means this input is given, if S1 is 1 means we have to NOT the S0. So this gives the output of the multiplexer. Suppose if when S1 and S0 equal to 1 means 0 means if S1 is 0 and S2 S0 is 0 means the applied select lines and the AND gate associated with D0 will have two of its inputs equal to 1 and the third input connected to the D0. So the other 3 AND gates have at 0 in at least one of their inputs, which makes their output equal to 0. Hence the R output is equal to the value of D0. So thus it provides a path from the selected input and the data on the input. D0 appears on the data output line. If S1 and S0 if S1 is 0 and S1 is 0 and S0 is 1 means binary 1 is applied to the selected line. The data on the input D1 appears on the input output line. Suppose if S1 is 1 and S0 is 0 means binary 2 is applied. The data on the input D2 appears on the output line Y. Similarly, if S1 is 1 and S0 is 1, then the data on D3 is switched to the output line Y. The AND gates and the inverters resemble a decoder circuit, and indeed they decode the input select lines. In general, a 2 power n to 1 multiplexer is constructed from n to 2 power n decoder by adding to its 2 power input lines on one each gate, AND gate. The output of the AND gate are applied to a single OR gate to provide a single output. The size of the multiplexer is specified by the number 2 power n of input lines and a single output line. Multiplexer ICs have an enable input to control the operation of the unit. The enable input, also called strobe, can be used to cascade 2 or more multiplexer ICs to construct a multiplexer with a large number of inputs. So this is the truth table of 4 to 1 multiplexer. So as usual said, if S1 is 0 and S0 is 0 means D0 output is selected. If S1 is 0 and S0 is 1 means D1 output is selected. S1 is 1 and S0 is 0 means D2 input is selected. S1 is 1 and S0 is 1 means D3 input is selected. Output. So where the multiplexers are applied means, so suppose imagine a surround system which is used in our home, and we have multiple sources such as laptops, computers, cable TV, and set-top box and MP3 players. So these all provide sounds which can be enabled using which can be selected using this D0, D1, D2, D3. Consider 0 and 0 means MP3 player is played in the surround system. If 0 and 1 means laptop will be played in the surround systems, and 10 means satellite cable TV network set-top box networks will be played in the system. Suppose both B and A is 1 means cable TV is played in the surround system. So we have multiple sources which can be played using a single destination. At least in a surround system, any one of can be played, which determines by the multiplexer input. The word demultiplexer means one into many. Demultiplexing is the process of taking information from one input and transmitting the same over of several outputs. This is the block diagram of demultiplexer. The single input is given and multiple outputs is obtained using the select line S1 and S0. A demultiplexer is a digital switch with a single input and multiple outputs. So select line determines which output the input is connected. Demultiplex type means 1 to 1, which uses 1 select line, 1 to 4, which uses 2 select lines, 1 to 8 uses 3 select lines, and 1 to 16 uses 4 select lines to determine the outputs. So this is the block diagram of the demultiplexer. One input data input D is given and with 2 select lines S1 and S0, and it provides 4 outputs Y0 to Y3. So this is a logical diagram of the demultiplexer. So 2 select lines and 1 input line is given, and we receive output as Y0, Y1, Y2 and Y3. Same that as 1 to 4 demultiplexer has a single input D and 4 outputs Y0 to Y3 and 2 select inputs S1 and S0. So same as the truth table of multiplexers. So single input line D is given and the select output lines when the S1 and S0 is given. Suppose if S1 and S1 0 and S0 also 0 means we receive the output as Y0. The D select line is selected using in the Y0. Suppose S1 is 0 and S0 is 1 means we select Y1 as the output. Suppose S1 is 1 and S0 is 0 means we select the output as D2. So both of them is 1 means we select the output D. So from the truth table we can clearly observe that if connected to output Y0 when S1 and S0 is 0, and the data input is connected to output Y1 when S1 is 0 and S0 is 1. Similarly, the data input is connected to outputs Y2 and Y3 when S1 1 and S0 0 and S1 and S0 is 1 respectively. So this is the expression of the output of the multiplexer. So using the above expression, a 1 to 4 demultiplexer can be implemented using 4 to 3 input AND gates and 2 out NOT gates. Here the input data line is connected to all the AND gates. The 2 select lines S1 and S0 enable only one at a time, and the data that appears on the input line passes through the selected gate to the associated output line. So we have a single computer system in our home, which that we can either give a laser printer or a fax machine. We can connect through a laser printer or a fax machine or a inkjet printer or a pen plotter. So these are all our multiple destinations. We have one a single source which that we can select using the which how to use, whether we have to use laser printer, we have to use fax machine, or you have to use color inkjet printer, or we have to use a plotter machine. So which is determined by these inputs. If both 0 means black and white laser printers will be displayed. If B is 0 and A is 1 means fax machine is used. If B is 1 and A is 0 means color inkjet printer is used. If both are 1 means pen plotter is used. Thank you.